Hello, my name is Arlie and this is Arlie Tarot. And this reading is for the 5-5 portal, which is today, Cinco de Mayo or May 5th. Obviously, that's the 5th month and the 5th day. And it just so happened that I finally got all of this together literally at 555. I looked over and before I was going to set up my phone to record and it was 5:53 and I was like, are you kidding me? And then I went through my setup, like the video and whatever, and I sat down at 5:55 and I took a screenshot because that was crazy. So the synchronicities are here to synchronize today. I have to say, I haven't done I was so excited about the 555 thing that I just sat down and started recording, but I think that's actually a good thing. This is not a pick a pile. This is just gonna be a general energy reading. I'm using 3 beautiful oracle decks today. This is the Archetypes deck. This is the Echo Fantasy Oracle by Muxi. And then this is the Unicorn Tarot. Not the Unicorn Tarot, I'm sorry. It's the Unicorn Oracle. But I realized that I haven't really said my intentions, haven't grounded with my stuff that I ground with. I do have incense and a candle on though, but yeah, sorry, I have to do some housekeeping things before I start an actual reading, so. All right. There's something about lighting a match or like an initiation of some kind, because all of a sudden I feel called to like light a match, and you know what, I'm gonna do it, but it's like I don't know what I want to burn, you know what I mean? There's something about like that like spark. Ooh, I'm seeing the Ace of Wands like on fire. I'm seeing the Ace of Wands and a couple of decks that are depicted like this, like a wand, but the tip of it is like on fire. Okay. I'm also being like, how a wand sometimes also looks like a walking stick, or how a wand can also kind of be depicted like a cane or something like that. There's something about like quite literally the image of like a wizard holding like a staff, if you will, and that is the Ace of Wands as well. That's really interesting. And I literally am picturing like a wizard. I'm picturing someone like in a I'm getting blue, dark, white, kind of cloak looking thing. All right, well, that was very interesting. Let's get into the reading. My intention here is to just get some advice for this portal, and maybe advice about what it's opening, and for some of you in the collective here. I feel like even though it's not a pick a pile, it kind of is in the sense of the collectives that I usually read for in my pick a piles. 333, as I said that, I looked up. But yeah, the collectives that I usually read for are here, and you guys are the ones here for the advice. Does that make sense? I think it does. All right, let's begin with the archetypes. And I feel like pulling 2 cards from each deck. In the beginning, when I was getting ready for this, I only pulled 1 of each, and I also had them like in different spots, but I settled on this. So yeah, let's start with this, and we're gonna get 2 from this deck. Okay. Labradorite might want to work with you because it seems to be, it wants to show off for some reason. Yeah, okay. Let's leave her there. Let's see what the 5-5 portal has. I almost want to say with this deck, it wants to be about what it wants to teach you. So there's something this portal wants to teach you. Okay. Teach us, I should say. 444. When I said that, I looked up. That's crazy. Okay, something opening up. Do you see the candle there? The flame? Wow. Do you also see how they're mirrored? Wow. Okay, there's a lot. There is so much. 72 could be significant. So 27 or 72 or the number 9 could also be significant. I'm not settled in this or this yet for some reason. I have to say, like, but I want to put it like this for right now is what it feels right. All right, so part of what this portal is trying to teach you is about opening up. This could be about opening the heart is what I'm getting, or opening the mind, the third eye as well. The shape shifter with 15 makes me think of the devil card in tarot. Interesting. Yeah, definitely a shapeshifter, because there's jewels, there's a human, there's a what is this, a tiger? It is a tiger, right? And then I see like this is a fish eye is what it looks like to me. But then it looks like tears as well, and there's that third eye very prominent, and the cat, and okay, some of you are connecting to maybe like the animal kingdom in some kind of way, but also nature in general. The openness here is probably it's more about the opening of, look at that, the tear. The opening might be about letting the emotions like run wild, if you will, is what I get with this. Letting your emotions take over, and it's not in a destructive way. It's not something that's going to be a disservice to you or anything like that. It's more about tapping into maybe a little bit of more into the shadow, or the things that you kind of perceive like as trickstery, but they're saying being a trickster is also being like a magician, is what I'm getting. Maybe you're called to study about some occult stuff. The portal is open for you, if you will. If that resonates with some of you, there is a big opportunity. I'm here, I just heard tonight, like clear as day. So maybe tonight, but I'm also getting for some of you, because some of you are not going to watch this today, or not in any 5/5 portal kind of day, and regardless of the year is what I'm getting right now. They're saying portals in general. So whatever numbers that are mirrored or consecutive of each other or something like that, that call your attention. Maybe you want to, there's something astrologically there, because now the lines, they're making me think of like certain patterns, or like some aspects of your chart being squared, or forming a triangle in some kind of trine in some kind of way. Yeah, because of the movements of the planets, but also like what happens in the alignments of each portal that we go through. It's funny how we live in patterns is what I'm getting from this energy here. It wants to be very expansive when it comes to the mind, when it comes to that. Yeah. They want to point out here almost that regardless of how you view the shapeshifter or not, you are a shapeshifter, because we as humans, or it's as part of nature regenerates itself often. And it is, oh, that is very beautiful. What I'm getting, it is okay to show up overnight as a new being, if you are a new being, if you feel like you're new. They're saying it's completely fine. I'm also getting that the world will adjust, your surroundings will adjust. This card that just flipped was the card that I got when I was shuffling this deck for this reading, and I always pull a card to kind of clear the energy a bit, because it could be the one that I'm pulling through, but this is the card that came through. Wow. Explore your softer side. That's where that openness is, I think. I think softening to the unknown, or softening to being ever changing, ever evolving, and not seeing it as a bad thing. Because, okay, there might be something about breaking consistency here, but for a really good reason. Because fives are about change. I'm ruled by 5 because that's my life path number. In that way, well, my life path, I'm ruled by 5. And it, as a Capricorn heavy placement person, or Saturn rules, and the other side, you see that, like, that complex of like those opposing forces that eventually do merge and create something, right? Little pieces of the puzzle is what it feels like you need to be open to, because they're saying you're just not one thing, right? And they're saying, as you continue on this journey, it's like you're opening the gate to what feels like maybe more of a deeper understanding of who you are, but like who you've been in past lives, and who you've been in past lives that has trickled into this one, the things that you've carried, right? So here, like, for example, you could have been like one of the big cats, or quite literally a tiger in a past life. Or you could have been some sort of fish, or an aquatic kind of animal in some kind of way. You've incarnated as human a lot of times, but you've also been in other, I don't know, realms, other beings that we don't even know about. But there's something, please take that if it resonates. But yeah, they want you to like expand and keep expanding and expect more expansion, right? It's like constant rebirth is what I'm getting. Cat spirit with grace. You've definitely been a cat, or you will be a cat, or you have a cat and your cat is trying to teach you about something, or your cat in this lifetime, it may be if they passed away, or if they passed on, they are now your guide, and they want to like for sure give you confirmation that they were a spirit guide incarnated when you had them, and now they're back to like their celestial being kind of thing, but they're coming through so strongly. Please only take that if it resonates, but that is such a specific, strong message. And you know, I'm literally looking at this. Hold on. I have this hanging. Oh my God, it's so dusty. I need to watch it. Okay, hold on. I have this hanging in front of me. Home is where my cat is. It's something that one of my friends stitched and gifted to me. That is very interesting. That was such a solid message. Like, that's so specific. And I know, maybe not as specific because a lot of us have pets that passed on. But yeah, that's really beautiful. So the crown again, and then look at that water with quite literally feeling emotions. There is something about tears is significant here. Oh, okay. What I'm getting is, when I say tears, I'm sorry, that was very loud. When I speak of tears, what I got was, your tears are prayers, and the things that you've cried about, the sorrows that you've had to endure, this openness, or like this occult thing that you're like studying, or the things that you're figuring out about yourself moving forward, or that this portal is trying to like open you up to. And for some of you, it feels like a lot of it is around love and relationships with not family. It feels romantic, okay? Maybe you're seeing some patterns that you're breaking, patterns that you've finally like, you've pieced things together to understand why you were doing them. And this 5-5 portal wants to expand. Oh, one of the best cards in this deck, okay? One of the best cards in this deck. And it seems to come out when there's triggers, okay? So this is just confirmation for me. This deck is so magical. abyss, and it is the fucking number 5. I'm sorry that I'm cursing, but that is blowing my fucking mind right now. Trapped in the depths of emotion. I mean, what else can we say? As someone, and we're in Taurus season, and I'm not someone who cries during I would say I have to show you the bottom of the deck, but hold on, let me get this out first. I'm not someone who usually cries during the seasons where it's like, if it's air and earth, I'm not really a crier. Now during fire and water seasons, I do. It's obviously water season, everybody's crying, but fire as well for some reason, because also my moon is ruled by fire because I have a Leo moon, and that's where I feel my emotions. Okay, so but this Taurus season is kicking my ass when it comes to emotion. It is very interesting that it has been doing that. But it's so today being the 5-5 portal is this resonates with me so heavily, and I feel like this is just part of the collective. It makes sense, the whole tears thing. I couldn't believe that I couldn't piece it together until right now, but I cried today, but like cried in the sense of like a realization, a cry to let it go, and then like a peace and an understanding is what I got. Like I experienced that today. So this could definitely be what is happening collectively. If some of you don't have a specific thing or a trigger that has led you to a very specific thing that you need to understand at this moment in time for your highest path, or just for your peace of mind, is what I'm getting. I'm getting like, you need the peace of mind because you never got the resolution, or you never got the explanation, or you never got the closure, right? All of that, if you haven't gotten something like that, this portal is opening up the gateway for it. So the next portal, like 6/6 for example, so June 6th is going to be significant for you. But so some of you that are like in my wave, you've started this a while back, and I know exactly when this started for me was Pisces season, during the 2/2 portal for sure. Although that's not Pisces, but like it was leading up to it. It was Aquarius, and my Venus is in Aquarius. Again, the emotional thing it's heavy here. So yeah, maybe you look at your chart, because me being called to share my chart with you and all of this things that I'm realizing, it feels like your own energy. I'm just experiencing it for me so that I can understand it, right? So all of that is kind of like coming together for me, boom, 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 boom. And now I see why I had the realizations that I did today. This card is so intense. This is also the card that this deck gave me when I interviewed it. So maybe some of you want to watch that deck interview. But yeah, bottom of the deck, ethereal, peer through the veil. Hearth and soul, unity and community. Okay, yeah, I mean, hello, here it is. This is what I mean. Like there's something opening up. Looks quite literally a portal today. This is happening right now. All right, very powerful shit. Okay, we will read up from the descriptions and books later. I'm just trying to get through the initial kind of setting of the energy, so that if it doesn't resonate, you don't stay for like the tarot reading and the rest of it, you know. All right, but I feel like if in any of these parts there's something that has resonated for you, you might want to stay for the rest. But obviously, you know, you do you, boo. It's not mandatory. All right, and nature, yes. Oh my god, I had these realizations out in nature. I also saw an otter today, of all things. Very random. At the park, at the nature reserve that I go to, I've never seen an otter before. And one crossed the road, okay? I was parked, but it was like, it crossed the road in front of my car. That was crazy. At first I was like, what the hell is that? And then I was like, oh my God, it's an otter. Okay. So nature, ground yourself, find a sanctuary in nature and connect with the elementals. 100%. If you can today, whether it's nighttime, If you can, today in this 5-5 portal, go out in nature. I highly suggest that you do. Definitely 100%. It worked for me, and I wasn't even seeking anything, to be quite honest. Well, I'm always open, but I'm never seeking per se, unless, you know, I said my intentions. So I was just out in nature, enjoying, and all of a sudden the floodgates opened. I got the confirmation, the explanation that I needed for kind of like maybe not really what I'm going through, but in the grand scope of things, the things that I've been through, a very specific thing. And boom, there was the explanation. A little bit of solution came through as well. So nature is very powerful today. Again, it's Taurus season. Of course, it freaking is. All right. Let's get into a little bit of tarot here, because I have follow-up questions, okay? Especially since I'm sensing I'm gonna get a lot from this reading myself. I just realized this is 4, 5, 5. So 4 and 5 is 9. Remember that we started with a 9 over here with a 72. Nines, I like nines because they are about almost getting to the point of a 10, right? We're an ace away from a 10. Pun intended? What the flip? Okay. And the 9 of Pentacles being behind it, this is, you see what I mean? Yeah. So almost at a 10, almost at a completion, and therefore a beginning. But it's interesting that you need an ace to complete, to get to a 10. So you need an opening, right? A beginning to end and begin again. Wow. It's like a tongue twister. This reading is very interesting. Okay. Well, I wasn't ready with the questions, so I'm putting them back, but I'm going to ask about the shapeshifter. You guys saw that, right? All right, 5 of Wands. And the 9 of Swords showed itself, but then it went back, so. Ace of Wands. Oh, you don't say. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. I knew this was going to be like an ace kind of reading for sure. But that is very interesting. I've seen 3 aces already. The only ace I haven't seen is the Ace of Swords. And you know what? It feels like it's what's missing here. Huh. The 5 of Wands and the 2 of Wands. The 5 of Wands to me is always the internal struggle. And being the shapeshifter here, it also feels like the internal struggle within you, and like, you know, I'm not saying like you have multiple personalities, but yeah, kind of like your passions and what the logical and really what it's in the heart and what is in the mind and what is in the ethereal things that you perceive are all kind of like fighting each other a little bit here to be the ones who what is it, not necessarily come through as with the solution or anything. Like, it's more of like everybody needs to get on the same page and make a decision is what I get. Maybe it is a couple of people, and if it's not a couple of people, it's like meaning like a situation. It definitely is the internal maybe the inner critic with the shadow and the higher self going at it and like trying to give the human you, like, right, the person who holds all of these together, give you some peace of mind, but they're coming to a decision about how to move forward about it. That's very interesting. They don't want you to feel alone anymore is what it is. There's something about self-value as well here. Oof. What I'm getting is you probably feel like you're someone who's lived many lives in this only lifetime, right? Not that you haven't had others, I believe you've had, and you know that you've had, but even in this span of time that you've been alive and conscious here in this and on this earth and this time, you feel like you've lived many lives. And this now feels like a very strong spirit guide. I want to move on to this energy for some reason. Very strong spirit guide who is saying that where you weren't, like where the tears matter is because where you weren't chosen, or where you were not valued, but you still stuck around and chose those people anyways, or those people, places, things, relationships anyways. It's almost like it was paying your dues to a certain extent, and please take that as it resonates, but if it's for you, you would know what I mean. It was like not just you collecting wisdom and like soul lessons, but it was also you paying your dues. And there's something very beautiful, yeah, there's something very beautiful that comes, especially from a place of giving back to you, because you did all of this that you did from a very good place as well. It was not self-serving is what I'm getting. There's that sword, but we haven't seen the Ace of Swords. Okay. Cat spirit with grace and with Queen of Cups. Look at that. Another. We're gonna get all the fives in the deck. Jeez. The Star. I'm missing the Five of Cups. I feel like the Five of Cups goes over here, because that would make total sense. Ooh, Page of Swords. Okay. All right, I stand corrected. And the Four of Wands. And the Star and the Sun. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Look at those aces again. I want to find the Ace of Swords, okay? That I need to find it. And the Five of Cups. I want to know where they are. What cards are around them. Okay. There we go. Interesting. Okay. Well, extremely interesting. All right. I want to start with this one because I was hunting for the Five of Cups first. Maybe not, but yeah. Look at that. 5, 5 next to each other. And then Strength. All right. This portal wants to show you, or it's showing you, that you're not only spiritually strong, pun intended with the strong thing here, another cat, by the way, big cat again, but you are also physically, emotionally, spiritually, energetically strong to move past the things that make you feel trapped in the depths of emotion. This is what this feels like. Now I get it. I see the resemblance in this with this. Because this feels like quite literally everything you've tried has gone down the drain, if you will. It's not because it's gone to shit. That's not what I mean. But it's gone to... It's passing you by. Things are over. And you feel like even though you've given it your all, there was not, the reciprocation was not there, and that's therefore things were severed, if you will. But they're saying these things did not happen just for like your wisdom or, you know, as a soul lesson, like I said before, or as you paying your dues, because maybe it's karma, and it's not just your karma. I feel like it's also ancestral. This also happened because you needed to be shown just how powerful you are. I feel like once, it's almost like you're trapped in an in-between space, or this portal is trying to get you out of the in-between, the abyss, if you will, that you're stuck from being the person in the past that suffered this and the person in the future who understands why they went through this, but still cannot move past it, if that makes sense. I'm gonna say that again because I also see it's the same story over here. But yeah, it's this 5-5 portal is trying to push you out of the space, liminal space, if you will, where you are, where this is the past, where you've been, and this is you in the future, maybe right quite literally now, understanding why the things happened that they needed to happen, and why you're way better off because of them happening, so that you can move past the blockage, so that you could stop shape shifting and just settle. There's the opening is here. The opportunity to do that is here. And it's here for the next month as well. You have like, there's a window of opportunity is what I'm getting. Quite literally, again, same story. So this is what I was looking for because it was the ace that I did not see. So the truth, the clarity. So the portal opens, you open yourself up as well. I'm hearing something like, I let go and I allow whatever needs to happen for my highest good to be, and I will understand them when I need to, something like that. Maybe you're praying, and if you're praying, your prayers have been heard, and if your tears were your prayers, they've also been heard and they will be answered. Okay. The truth, even though you perceive it, oh wow, this is very beautiful, you perceive it to be coming from the divine, it's really coming from the healed you. Oh, that is so amazing to think about it like that. Does this make sense, what I was saying before? So this is you in the past, again, the wounded warrior, paying your dues. But it's not just your past, it's also in the future because you still feel it so deeply. But this is you sending forward that answer, right? That healing, that final realization or a final understanding of something. And it's all you at the same time. You've been doing it all along, because you need to be in this energy, because you need to feel it to heal it. You need to feel it to understand it. You need to feel it to transmute and temper. Wow. And this is, again, how powerful your tears are, because these are your tears. Look at that. It's a river. Quite literally, cry me a river. You've cried a river. That's what I'm getting. And from that river, what came is this. You diving quite literally maybe into the river of your subconscious and coming out, with, you're not just the high priestess. That's the other side of the coin, if you will. But you're also the Hierophant. That brings me to like inner union as well. Inner union with self is significant for you because of the shape shifter. I'm sorry, it's really hard for me to say that word for some reason. Because of the shape shifter energy, that it also, it's like, this is like you for sure, and this feels like the portal. Does that make sense? You've gotten the information that you need. Okay, without a doubt, union with self is significant. Yeah, for sure. And I'm hearing baby steps. And this energy of baby steps is coming from this cat spirit, or maybe just animal spirit that is kind of like in your energy trying to support you. They're saying, remember where you started and look at where you are, right? You're a healer because you've healed yourself. And there's nothing more healing than the truth. And I think you're very truthful with yourself. And therefore, it kind of all like, right? So it starts with an ace, but then the page. And then here you are with a lot of emotional and like genuine, a genuine energy that is emotionally mature is what awaits. Not that you haven't already kind of achieved that, obviously, but it feels more like in a practical sense. Okay, it's time for me to read your oracles because that's what's happening. So let's just get into that. All right, I'm gonna start with the cat. They feel like they really have something to say, so. How you move through life matters as much as the destination. Be intentional with your choices of how you communicate with others and leave your impact on the world. You may feel independent, but that doesn't mean the feelings of others aren't considered. Let your inner divinity speak through all that you do and are. Kindness is your friend. That's okay, that makes sense. Again, that truth and that genuine energy is how you come across as, like I said, genuinely emotionally mature and grounded and like just kind. Yeah. Intentions, expression, consideration, kindness, and communication. All right, and the number 5, traps in the depth of emotion. Difficult situations can lead to a burdening heart and clouded mind. Together, it can be a trap of endless suffering. Pulling yourself downwards will not help end the pain. Now is the time to acknowledge you've hit rock bottom, and the only direction to move is up. It may take time, but brighter days are ahead of you. Take the first step. Here's your invitation, literally. This portal is inviting you to take steps towards leaving all of these 5 moments behind, right? Probably the internal struggle of a lot of like yourself that you carry, but it's there because of the abandonment. Is there because of the truth that had to be spoken and severed relationships. Is there because of the things that you've poured your heart and soul into and never worked out, and it wasn't appreciated or seen valued for what it was. It's all of that, right? It wants to like just allow you to let it go and set yourself free from it. Like I said, you are not just the 9 of Wands. You're not the wounded warrior. You are Temperance. This portal wants to take you from seeing yourself. Oh my God, the mirrors make sense. Seeing yourself, it's distorted. So like you're not seeing yourself for who you truly are now, which is a way more healed, evolved, like grounded, sure of themselves than you were when those moments happen. Just because there are triggers coming back maybe, or a very specific one about a very specific thing that you are quite literally overcoming. I'm hearing allow it to flow and just leave, okay? You don't need to command it to leave. You need to allow it. Wow, okay. Downward spiral, lost, heavy, depression, turmoil, and self-destruction. Yeah, none of that. I feel like that's what's saying goodbye to you, if you will. It's what this portal wants to cleanse from you. It wants to take that energy with it, right? And transmute it. It wants to temper it for you. Okay. Let's see. Let's start with Shapeshifter with 15. Oh my God, look, it's a little fish. Ah, I knew it. Butterfly, a snake, a turtle. Okay. the trickster, the elusive, the the formless. The shapeshifter is related to the mask. Notice in this card notice if this cards come up together in one reading. If so, you are in the realm of heavy theater, illusion, possible deception. I think it's the opposite for you. Since that other card didn't come out, it's more about you're seeing how this energy is the energy that you've been tempering and changing so that you can then, like, quite literally take advantage of this portal and move through this energy, move through this illusion that you've been living in. And the illusion is about just how far you've come that you still cannot, like, conceptualize, but it wants to help you with that. All right. The ultimate shapeshifter works undercover in service of the greater good. The diminished shapeshifter becomes a people pleaser. You're not a people pleaser anymore. You are here to work undercover and serve the greater good, okay? When light, vibrant, adaptable, and humorous. When dark, charlatan, people pleasing, and trickery. And to go deeper, Cindy Sherman, okay. The shapeshifter has a love of theater, games, and trickery. Its energy appears as one thing, only to reveal a more complex story below the surface. Dancing long-term with the shapeshifter requires a central pillar of integrity that links us back to our center. Central pillar of integrity that links us back to our center. Whew. I think you have it though. The pillars are here for you. You have the pillars. You have the foundation to now be the shapeshifter for the greater good. And it is okay. There's maybe the internal struggle is around that. It's around you being a shapeshifter, and like thinking that it's wrong. They're saying, well, if you're doing it for the greater good, and you will know who this is for and what it is about, okay? If you're doing it for the greater good, it is okay to be all these multitude of things and present one or the other whenever you feel called to, is what I'm getting. It also feels, it could be like about your spiritual gifts. Like it's okay to have ones that you default to often, but it is also okay to use the obscure, more maybe perceived as dark ones. I feel like if you're not open to everything that you are, it's impossible for you to kind of see just how far you've come, and it all comes together at the same time. It's like it clicks, right? That's what this wants to speak about. How the clicking is going to seem. It's like an energy of mourning the fact that you cannot be, for example, quote unquote, normal or whatever. You feel like it's impossible for you to like compromise this certain part of you anymore, and therefore you accept it, and because you're accepting of it, the floodgates open for you to release what was holding you back from like abundance, maturity, being in your power, but from a place of softness is what I'm getting to. Okay. Devotion, unconditional love. Wow. When light, service, reverence, honor, and joy. When dark, spiritual bypassing and righteousness. To go deeper, children's choirs from around the world. So maybe tapping into your inner child is part of this too. Agape can also be felt as an overwhelming love of family, partner, and community. Recognize it by a deep swell of gratitude. The Greek word agape forms the English word agape. To be the mouth open is to be awestrucken by something or of breathtaking delight. Oh my goodness, words. We are made humble once again. Ooh. That definitely is the energy for today. All right. What if instead of putting yourself at the center of your spiritual practice, you put God, goddesses, or nature at the center? I think nature definitely wants to just be a spirit guide for you at this time, and I think you should let it moving forward, okay? If you guys feel called to, for those of you that this resonates with, just go out and sit out in nature for a bit, wherever you can and however you can do it, okay? I feel like take a journal with you, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you're just your phone and you can like type away or journal it or speak it or record it, you know, but there's something there, okay? For someone that has been doing this, I can tell you it works. Maybe some of you are already doing it and you're now realizing that that's what's happening, where like you're going out of nature and you're getting answers. Okay, how would this change your approach? Such is the energy of agape. It is alive when we are in awe and in wonder, our breath taken away by the sacred force that surrounds us and asks for nothing in return. This card can indicate a spiritual initiation that stretches your capability to love and serve. Yes, definitely yes. You sense the earthly as the heavenly and vice versa. Such an initiatory moment can appear in any form, and like a healing balm to the modern soul, its effects last a lifetime. Wow. The agape card may also suggest you reassess what you worship every day, consciously or unconsciously. What are you elevating? What does the sacred ladder you climb up ultimately lead to? What are you elevating? Resonates heavily for me for some reason. And I feel like the answer to that for a lot of you is you definitely feel like you have healer energy. So I think you're either elevating collectives if you do the work alone, but if you work with others, like clients, for example, I think you're elevating other people. All right. I feel like that is the message. I don't know if I want to pull another card from another deck. I think that I do, because there's cosmic energy around here too. So I'm going to pull a card from the Starseed Oracle as well. Just didn't feel like I was done. Does that make sense? All right. 5-5 portal. Wow. Weight of the world. Boundaries. Let it go. It's not yours to carry. The bottom of the deck, though, the weight of the world, right? And then look at the bottom. Earth School, life lessons, slow growth, study, and higher learning. You dive in, but it's almost like you were already in the water when you dove in. But diving in, it's a release, it's a letting go moment. And called soul gifts and training, it is time to step up. Yeah, so there you are. Let it go, quite literally. From the 9 of Wands, we get to the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands is about letting go. It's because it's not yours to carry anymore, and it's not yours to carry because it is not you anymore. Okay, there's a need for this energy to. What it's asking you is to allow it to take with it, if you will, the old self, the old versions, the old paradigms, the old everything, whatever you consider as, like, it feels like spring cleaning, quite literally, right? Like whatever feels stagnant, old, not yours, completely, like, you know, it was serving you before, but it's not anymore, and it wants to just gather it and take it with it, and it will. It literally will. It's starting by pinpointing the things first. I think aligning them, showing them to you, I think you understand them, then you're receiving a lot of confirmation from the divine about this. You go through it in the physical, you're experiencing emotional release about things. And nature is also here to say, hey, in the practical, in the 3D world, I am here for you to help you with this. Just be with me, be in my company, is what nature is saying. And, you know, we'll clear this out. That is so beautiful. All right. Thank you so much for trusting me to read for you. I hope you have an amazing Cinco de Mayo 5-5 portal. And I'll see you in another reading. I have another reading ready for Love in May. So I don't know if I'm posting it today or tomorrow, but it'll be next. All right. Bye-bye.